Good afternoon, everybody. Going to go over our Forex trades for today, Thursday, November 5th. We had four trades between last night. Actually, no trades this morning, but we did liquidate some. Four trades pulled out 2.7 pips on a size adjusted basis. So after commissions, we actually finished down a little bit. Not much, though, at all. Pretty much a break even type day. Really not much on the economic calendar here in the States. What the stuff that was on there was pretty light. The big thing was Britain, UK, leaving interest rates alone. But Carney, who's the governor over there, some of the things he said in some of his comments, just wanted to point out. He said they could extend quantitative easing, cut rates if down risk materialize. So here is a equivalent of a Janet Yellen, right, the Federal Reserve chairwoman. This is their equivalent of that, saying he also says that global developments are biggest change since August. There are downside risks to the global outlook. And just yesterday, Janet Yellen in her testimony was saying that the global, any potential global problems, global bad developments, were negligible. We're pretty much abated and gone. So complete contrast from each other. Found it kind of interesting. And tomorrow's non-farm payroll, which is the biggest economic number of every month, comes out the first Friday of every month. Goldman Sachs came out this morning. They revised up their forecast for the non-farm payroll to 190,000 new jobs being created, up from 175,000. So we'll see what that number comes out tomorrow. If in fact it comes out 190 like they're saying, or even above 200, that might give it more of a green light to the Fed to raise rates in December. If that number comes out, terrible, 135,000, 128,000, something like that, God forbid below 100,000, there's no way the Fed can raise rates. I'm telling you that right now. So we'll see. We'll see what tomorrow brings. So let's go over to four trades. First one you're looking at here. This was a swing trade. We had 10% of our normal size. We had mentioned yesterday that everyone was short the euro dollar. Everyone is looking for it to go down to parity. And we held it through yesterday's ECB. Excuse me, not the ECB yesterday. We held it through Janet Yellen's testimony yesterday. We were doing pretty well. We figured after this little bounce here in consolidation and started to break down, if it was to take out this tops of these consolidations, that we would cover. So we had it in last night just above that consolidation range, and we got hit at 108.761, picking up 84.3 pips, 10% of our normal size, 8.4. You can see what it's done since. It took it out, ran up, not a whole lot above it where it took us out, only about another 12 or 15 pips, and it's been kind of oscillating back and forth around this consolidation area. So there's obviously some, a conflict of buyers and sellers here. That's why there was this consolidation for so many hours. It looked like the sellers were winning, but we had this huge bounce last night. So, like I had mentioned it yesterday, at any given time, since there's so many traders short this thing, at any given time, it could really start to bounce hard. If shorts decide to cover and it adds fuel to fire and people have stops and the stops get triggered and it goes on and on and on. So, you have to continually monitor it and revise it. So, but we'll take it, the 84.3 pips. Second trade was a scalp that we had 30% of our normal size. It just wasn't working out for us. We were short from 131.959 last night, and then before shutting the computers down, we were looking for a much bigger move down. Obviously, our stop was up here. We were looking for a bigger move down, but since we weren't going to be monitoring it, we just threw an offer out there, to pick up somewhere in the neighborhood of 10 pips. And we picked up 7.4. This was the area that it did come down to when we first shorted it. So we figured, well, when we were short and it came down, it was down here for a little bit. We didn't cover and it bounced. So our thinking before shutting the computers down last night for the evening is that this buyer might reappear. And that's basically what happened. It took this low out by a few pips, ran all the way down to about 131, 82 or 83 or so before bouncing hard. So we only had 30% of our normal size, only picked up 7.4 or equivalent to 2.2. This was the one that hurt us. We were long the Australian dollar and New Zealand dollar, 30% of our normal size as well. You can see it never went in our favor at all. We were long from 1.08483. We were going to be risking more than this. As a matter of fact, this was about where we would have been getting stopped out, somewhere around 1.0790. But before shutting things down for the evening, we had put out an offer up in this area where all these tops are. Obviously, you see there it never even approached it. And we also revised our stop to all these bottoms, which is a clear to be there. You know, you got these bottoms from just before where we bought it, and then you got these bottoms from November 4th and November 3rd. So it's a many hours worth of bottoms. If it takes that out, it's going to move down lower, and it's exactly what it did. You know, unfortunately, we weren't up. It didn't happen while we were awake, because if it was, we probably would have taken the hit, and then once it broke this by maybe 5 pips or so, taken it short, which, you know, it could have been good for 10, maybe 15 or 20 pips, which would have cut into this deficit a little bit. But in the end, we lost 33.5 or 10.1 pips. And then the last trade is pound yen. We had 10% of our normal size, a swing trade. We were long it last night, just on a bet to break out of this tight little consolidation. Obviously, we weren't going to trade a lot of it. We knew that the UK was coming out with their interest rate decision this morning at 7 o'clock, and then Carney's speech at 7:45. So our mindset was, let's take a small position, see if it could break out of this. It is near the figure of 187. You have all these tops. We'll just throw an offer out there, you know, 10, 15 pips above that figure, which is right in this, pretty much in the middle of these tops here. And we put it out there at 187.12. We got filled 187.121, picking up 22.7 pips, just 2.2 pips, not a big deal. You know, and if it didn't happen and it had come down, you know, our stop, we weren't going to be risking a ton, obviously. But at the same time, we weren't going to take a big position, because I'll tell you why. Like, even though our stop was going to be down here, okay, this consolidation range, so we were only risking ourselves about 30 pips. But why didn't we take a bigger size is, what if it didn't go either way? What if it didn't get high enough and didn't get low enough to stop us out, didn't get high enough to take the profit out, and it just did this for the rest of the evening in this tight little range, and then they come out with their interest rate decision? If you get caught in this downdraft, the bids are going to be disappearing so fast that instead of risking 30 pips, we might end up getting, you know, hit for 50, 60, 70 pips. Who knows what's going to happen? So, excuse me. So therefore, we took a very small position just to play defense, figuring, okay, if it works out for us, you know, we'll make 2 or 3 pips on a size adjusted. If it doesn't, we're going to lose, you know, 2 or 3, 4 pips on a size adjusted. At worst case scenario, if what happened, if what I just said had happened, or it was in a really tight range and then the news came out, if that scenario happened, even if we lost 70 pips, you're talking 7 pips, right, on a size adjusted basis. So totally acceptable risk there. So that's it. We're going to wrap it up. If you're still trading now, good luck. If any signals come out later today, we'll be sending them out. And if you're still trading now, good luck. And we'll be back tomorrow, assuming we get some action tonight and tomorrow morning. Tomorrow morning is the non-farm payroll, so you definitely don't want to be having any positions heading into that unless they're small, something like this trade here. All right, have a great rest of your day.